see a lot of, like, on a lot of sidelines. When you take the time to say, I talked to coach such and such, and coach said this. I would give you, because like you always bring like really good insight, and you know, you get good stuff. Give yourself a little more time to get more good stuff out instead of like if you only have 30 seconds, don't waste 5 of it on. I talked to the coach.
Senior
The coach
associate
said,
head coach. So do I have to fully label the senior associate head coach Scott refusal?
no, you don't have. You can say
So
assistant.
I can say after speaking with Coach Kyle Steinway because of X, Y, and Z.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Coach, assistant coach Kyle Steinway said, I'd go right into it. Get into the meat. And,
Okay.
it's more impactful. Like
Right.
if you hit with like your most interesting stuff right off the rip,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
more likely that the audience is going to absorb it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And you want to give yourself as much time to like
Talk about
be on camera.
right.
And
Yeah. Talk
like
about the game, not so
like,
much who they are, their label.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that's where I kind of get caught up a lot is I fully like ID them, label them, their role, their position, like whatever. Senior associate head coach.
Assistant coach Kyle Steinway said,
Okay. Cool.
I think.
Yeah.
Let's get this on the social mediums. Just letting y'all know that I am on headset if you need. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. And I will say that right now, for whatever reason, I sound like an alien a little bit. Like, I don't know if there's a couple of audio channels open causing a reverb effect, an echo effect. But check, 1, 2. It does not. Okay. Check, 1, 2. And check, 1, 2. 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 Checking 1, 2, 3. Checking 1, 2, 3. Checking 1, 2, 3. No, it still sounds echoey, I would say. Check 1, 2. Still has that. Do you hear that, Evan, as well? Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Yeah, it still, has that echo. Tinny, I would say. I would call it tinny. Tinny more than tunnely. check 1 2. It sounds a little. I would say yes. Yes, that sounds better. That does sound better. Yes, that sounds much better. Thanks. Check 1 2. Ooh, now it's really hot for whatever reason. I don't know. No problem.
This is Evan on program. That one's a little bit robotic. I hear what Randy was saying now. Deal. Check, 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 check. Still a little bit robotic. Check, check, check. Same thing. Check 1. I think robotic. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Check 1, 2. Yeah, same thing. Deal. Check 1, 2. Same thing. Check 3, 4. Ooh, we're making headway. That's definitely better. That might be good. How's the sound on your end? All right, perfect. I don't know where she is, actually. She might be in position. Oh, she has you, Justin. Yep. She's doing it right now. Do you hear her?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
What was that?
I've heard you the entire time.
Oh, no.
Sweet, sweet. Yes, yes. Okay, sweet. I mean, I think you guys have to keep it open. I don't have a talk back button, but if I just flick it on and talk.
Thorn, do you mind if I... Thorn, do you mind if I steal some traffic for the open? Perfect.
On a Thursday night at Sacred Heart University, it's another big one in the MAC. Then again, aren't they all? It's Rider and Sacred Heart trying to be one of those top 10 teams that makes it to Atlantic City and the MAC men's basketball tournament. Good evening, everybody, with Evan Cormier, Randy Brochu. Thrilled to be with you. And Evan, the Pioneers are riding a 3-game winning streak, taking on a Rider team that's had an up-and-down season, but most recently coming off a tough loss against Merrimack. A chance for Sacred Heart to gain some separation from Rider, and for the Broncs to try to play their way back into the win column and something.
Absolutely. You talk about it. It's the final countdown for these Pioneers and the Broncs as well. Only 10 conference games remain before this tournament in March, so the Pioneers are trying to get hot and stay hot at the right time.
Rider at 8-14, 4-7 overall in conference play. Led on the boards by a grad senior from Philadelphia who is racking up double-doubles, Tariq Ingram.
Yeah, the Wake Forest transfer came to Rider 3 seasons ago after injuries derailed his ACC campaign. He's found his home playing in every single game since 2022, Randy. An 84-game streak becomes 85 tonight, and they're going to need his presence in the paint if they want to pick up this conference win. He's averaging double-digit points and just south of 7 rebounds a game with a season high of 14, and he's going to be the anchor for the Broncs on both ends as he leads the team in blocks as well.
The Pioneers coming off a thrilling 74-72 win against Manhattan. Makai Connor hit the game-winning shot, and he is leading the top offense in the MAC.
Yeah, this young man's been on an absolute tear. He's averaging 13 assists per game over this Pioneer winning streak with a high of 16 at Canisius. The freshman hails 30 minutes up the road in New Haven, and his nuclear week earned him national recognition, bringing home the Met Basketball Writers Association Division I Player of the Week. He's a scoring threat too, accounting for 12 points a game during the streak.
the Pitt Center on the campus of Sacred Heart University. It's another big one in the MAC. But then again, aren't they all on the road to Atlantic City? Tonight, the Rider Broncs visit Fairfield, Connecticut to take on the Sacred Heart Pioneers from Coach Dave Vikeport. Good evening, everybody. Tonight, joined by Evan Cormier. I'm Randy Brochu, thrilled to be with you. The Sacred Heart Pioneers coming off a 3-game winning streak, an exciting win against Manhattan. Now in 6th place in the MAC, trying to get a little separation from Rider, coming off a tough loss to Merrimack, hovering around that 10th spot, tied for 9th. And as everybody tries to be one of those 10 to qualify for the MAC basketball tournament.
Yeah, there's no action like midweek MAC action, and these Pioneers are looking to make the final countdown count as they're just under 10 games left in this regular season.
Rider led by Tariq Ingram. This guy is racking up double-doubles, 5 of them this year. They're looking for a strong offensive and defensive effort from him.
Yeah, the Wake Forest transfer came to Rider 3 seasons ago after injuries derailed his ACC campaign, and he found his home playing in every single game since 2022, Randy. An 84-game streak becomes 85 tonight, and they're going to need his presence in the paint if they want to pick up a conference win. He's averaging double-digit points, just south of 7 rebounds a game with a season high of 14, and he will be the Broncs anchor on both ends as he leads the team in blocks as well.
For the Sacred Heart Pioneers, Makai Connor, the freshman, running point, hit the game-winning shot on Sunday against Manhattan in the final minute, and he is leading the top offense in the MAC.
Yeah, this young man has been on an absolute tear. He's averaging 13 assists per game over this Pioneer winning streak with a high of 16 at Canisius. The freshman hails from 30 minutes up the road in New Haven, and his nuclear week earned him national recognition, bringing home the Met Basketball Writers Association Division I Player of the Week. He's a scoring threat as well, accounting for 12 points a game during this win streak.
Sacred Heart 9-12 overall, 5-5 in MAC play. That puts them right around 6th place. 5-3 here at home. Rider 8-14 overall, 4-7 in the MAC. They've gotten on the other end of a 9-game losing streak. They have a win against Marist, the top team in the league, as well as Mount St. Mary's right up near the top, and this Rider team won 7 in a row at the end of last season on their way to the MAC tournament. They win the opening tip, and Tariq Ingram drives and lays it in. Count it, and an early foul. Ingram going to the line for a 3-point play.
Absolutely, Tariq Ingram, Johnny on the spot, making us look good in the show open as he picks up an and one in the first 15 seconds of the contest.
Anquan Hill commits the foul. And Ingram is on the line where he's 65% this year. Grad senior from Philadelphia. There's a heavy Philly presence on both rosters tonight. We know what they'll be doing Sunday, but the focus is on winning a college basketball game today, and a lack of focus from Sacred Heart as Hill throws the ball away after the miss on the free throw line by Ingram, and a gift possession here for the Broncs.
This is exactly what Rider needs. They are a team that really benefits from a big first half, winning 4 games when they're up at halftime.
They were winning most of the second half against Merrimack. In fact, for most of the last 9 minutes until that guy, Bud Clark, beat him with 8 seconds. The game-winning shot by the conference's leading scorer. The pull-up shot is short for Andre Young. Makai Connor up the floor. Griffin Baruch in rhythm, fouled behind the line. And Baruch playing through a facial injury in the starting lineup with Connor, Amiri Stewart, Hill, and Tanner Thomas going to the line to shoot 3.
Pioneers wasting absolutely no time on their first possession. Just one pass from Connor and the 3 launched, and he gets fouled. He's going to take a trip to the line.
Baruch 69% from the free throw line this year, and part of a 3-point attack from Sacred Heart. They are the top 3-point shooting team in the league. Baruch last game didn't have his shooting stroke, just 1 for 7. But playing through that injury, contributed 9 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds in the 74-72 win against Manhattan. And he hits all 3 free throws to give the Pioneers their first lead.
3 big points for the Pioneers, and we know they get it done beyond the arc, but when you can take a trip to the free throw line and make it just as effective, it's very important.
Pull up by Jay Alvarez, doesn't happen. He passes. TJ Weeks Jr. Picks up his dribble. Shot clock down to 10. Andre Young drives on Amiri Stewart. Behind the back with the dribble. He's off the mark on the pull-up. It's out of bounds on Ryder, and the Pioneers have possession.
That's back-to-back possessions for Andre Young when the junior is really trying to press the pace, picking up screens from Ingram, and he's 0 for 2 on his last field goal attempts.
Connor with 130 assists this year running point. Thomas open from the corner. Sacred Heart putting up the most three-point shots in the league and making the most three-pointers. Averaging almost 10 three-point field goals per game.
Pioneers catch a big break there as they are yet to establish any sort of offensive rhythm. Again, only 90 seconds into this, but both possessions have looked really rushed.
When they play that frenetic pace, their average time of possession about 16 seconds. They rain threes for days, and Makai Connor's going to take a three and nail it. We talk about his ability to distribute, but he showed with the game-winning shot Sunday, he's not afraid to shoot it. Almost 32% from deep this year.
Yeah, the Pioneers are making their strategy known at the beginning of this game. No single team in the MAC has taken more, made more, or shot at a higher percentage from beyond the arc than the Pioneers.
Connor stripped Weeks Jr. on it, and he leads the fast break to Thomas after he got it to Baruch, who's going to take a deep three and nail it. Griffin Baruch 6 points early.
And it's going to be a long night for Ryder if Sacred Heart's going to be knocking down contested threes from well beyond the arc.
Zion Cruz fades away. That's off the money. Baruch with a board. Connor to Baruch. Amiri Stewart to Anquan Hill. Driving baseline. Hill goes up and is fouled. Anquan Hill coming off a career day. Triple threat. He can attack the rim. He's got the mid-range game, and he leads the MAC in three-point shooting. Here, he'll get a couple of free throws. Timeout on the floor. Timeout taken by Ryder. 17-17 left in the first half. Shoe is off and running. An early start for the Pios. 9-2 Sacred Heart. Griffin Baruch, the junior guard from Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. He's a transfer from Hofstra, averaging 6.5 points a game and almost at his season average with a three-pointer from behind the arc and the 3 free throws. Anquan Hill, what a day he had on Sunday. 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 three-pointers. Hill at 65% from the free throw line this year.
Pioneers near the top of the conference when it comes to free throw percentage, and Ryder near the bottom, and that hurts you when you've been losing as many close games as Ryder has. You really can't leave any points on the board.
11-2 Sacred Heart. Zion Cruz gives to the big man Tariq Ingram. Jay Alvarez takes the three and misses. He's one of their better three-point shooters at 34% this year.
And it's too early for Ryder to be taking shots and relying on the three-point game. That's really not their game. They're going to come out and try to match the pace of the Pioneers, but they need to do a better job at just trying to slow it down instead.
Amiri Stewart, a little up and under move and off the window for 2. Held to just 7 points against Manhattan, but averaging almost 12 points a game this year. Hill goes for the steal as he gets the inside positioning on Ingram. Amiri Stewart dives for the loose ball, the last to touch. And the possession stays with Ryder.
Look for Ingram to set another big screen here. They're going to try to free up Cruz in the corner, I think.
Flash Burton into the game. Burton got it inside to Weeks Jr. One more pass to Zion Cruz for the dunk.
That is absolutely their game. They're going to want to screen low, work around it, and try to free someone up in the paint.
13-4 Sacred Heart. Bryce Johnson out of the floor off the bench. Uncontested to the rim for the two-hand slam.
Yeah, and that was just a defensive breakdown from the Bronx. It was Tariq Ingram looking for help from Zion Cruz, the guard, and Cruz has his back turned.
Bryce Johnson averaging just under 9 points a game in his second stint with Sacred Heart after spending a year at Northeastern last year, following 3 years here in the SHU program. Amiri Stewart knocks the ball out of Zion Cruz's hands. Connor with a no-look. One more pass underneath for Stewart from Johnson. Thomas looking to handle, and he draws a foul.
How about Alvarez stopping that 3-on-1 break all by himself? Makai Connor looked like he kind of got caught up in no man land there. Looked like he was going to go down to the side, decided to dump it back to Bryce Johnson.
Johnson will have free throws when we come back after a dunk. Part of a 15-4 start for Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart off and running. Randy Brochu and Evan Cormier welcoming in the third member of our team, right by the SHU Pep Band, McKenna Wright.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, you know, speaking of consistency, that's something that the Pioneers have been able to find as of lately, specifically where their starting lineup is concerned. In early January, Randy, I told you that the Pioneers had gone through over 10 different starting lineups. From the last 9 straight, they've been able to roll with the same starting 5. Assistant coach Kyle Simon said that helps everybody. He says, let's everybody all prepare the same way. He says, because everything looks completely different based off of who's out there. He says, any chance he gets to give some familiarity to his starters, it's a good day. He says, his guys have to think a little less and play a whole lot more. Guys?
Thank you, McKenna. And Anthony Latina, in his 12th season as head coach of Sacred Heart, seems to have found his starting 5, including Tanner Thomas, 7th in the MAC at 15 points a game, and he's on the line for 2 more.
Yeah, the out-of-conference schedule is really when you figure out what you have as a team, the players you have. When that conference schedule starts, that's when you want to find your lineups that gel, and it looks like the Pioneers have found that.
Burton takes the shot and hits it over Stewart. Flash Burton, who took the last shot of the game against Merrimack. He had a pretty good look for a floater in the paint, but it didn't go for him. Hits that contested shot over Amiri Stewart. Looking to answer. Stewart to the wing. Bryce Johnson short on the 3. Tanner Thomas goes up for the rebound, and he takes it away from Ife West Ingram. And he got tugged on the jersey for a foul.
This is already going to be the Pioneers' 8th attempt at the free throw line. Oh, they say it happened on the floor.
Anthony Latina's Pioneers with a 10-point lead here against Ryder. Their first time matching up against the Bronx since the first 2 years that Sacred Heart went Division I. They met them in their first year in 1999. Most recently lost in 2000, 85-63. Amiri Stewart attacks the rim, and his little up and under goes off the glass for 2.
Attacks the rim is right. He got a head of steam cutting through the paint there. Went with the strong right-handed flush off the glass.
Ruben Rodriguez with the ball out of Reading, PA. TJ Weeks Jr. rips the 3, playing on a team with his brother Tyreek Weeks. TJ Weeks transferring from UMass a couple of years ago. And he has the rebound. Weeks Jr. the pull-up for 3 front iron. And a foul is whistled underneath.
You live by the sword and you die by the sword if you're the Pioneers. You're going to crash the boards and play with this much tempo. You're going to give up 3-on-1 breaks like that one.
Kevin Baggett, the head coach of Rider, won his 200th game in their last victory. Now in his 13th season as the head coach, 19 years overall at Rider. In his 18 years as an assistant and the head coach, Rider has 311 wins. That's the second most in the MAC, next to Iona. Amiri Stewart lost the handle on it. It was knocked out of his hands by Ife West Ingram, and the possession stays with the Pios.
Amiri Stewart has taken over the first half of this first half, for lack of a better term, as he is really attacking the rim every time he gets the rock.
And that ball was actually knocked free by Flash Burton. Connor showing off the handles against Tank Byard and leaving it for Tanner Thomas for the flush. 20-9, Sacred Heart. Burton working perimeter. Weeks Jr. A little contact with Amiri Stewart. But the officials let him play through. Officials today are Craig Evans, Ed Corliss, and David Powell. It goes underneath, and Tank Byard, the product of Atlantic City, trying to do what he can for his Rider team to make it to the boardwalk in March.
That was an efficient switch on defense for the Pioneers, but just a better pass getting just over the fingertips of Johnson.
Tanner Thomas airballs the corner 3. Ife West Ingram down with the basketball. Ruben Rodriguez to Flash Burton. Burton the dish off. West Ingram, the baseline jump shot, good.
Yeah, the mid-range shot is alive and well for these Rider Broncs. That's the 4th mid-range attempt.
Now 20-13, Sacred Heart. Makai Connor up fakes the 3. Oh, the little drop step, and teardrop wouldn't fall for him.
Yeah,
and a
just
chance now for the Broncs to cut it to a 2-possession game early.
Absolutely, the Pioneers had that 13-point run before the timeout, and since then, the Broncs are the one that are establishing the pace.
Burton is fouled underneath by Niall Ralph Byer, fresh off the bench. Flash Burton has free throws coming. Anthony Latina also, like his counterpart Kevin Baggett, had a milestone win last time out. Career victory number 150, and the 74-72 win against Manhattan on Sunday. Burton, who had a 21-point game in the win against Marist. And go figure, Rider. They lost 9 in a row. Their 9th coming to Canisius, giving Canisius their first win of the year. Then they ripped off a 3-game winning streak, including a victory over first-place Marist.
Yeah, this is a team that does not subscribe to trends, fitting that trend of maybe losing to people you shouldn't and beating teams that you should. Going on the road, they're 6-8 this year. For some reason, they're better when they pack the bus.
And it's the MAC, baby. Anybody can win on any night. It means a lot. Sacred Heart and Rider both trying to be one of the 10 out of the 13 that qualify for the MAC tournament. But Sacred Heart now in the middle of the pack at 5-5 also would love for a top 6 finish and to avoid the first round. Get right to the quarterfinals in their first season in the MAC. Anquan Hill to a cutting Bryce Johnson, and he is fouled. Ife West Ingram with a foul.
There were 4 Broncs in the paint there. Bryce Johnson attacking the rim, showing no fear. Maybe passing up on an open 3, but getting a trip to the line nonetheless.
5 team fouls now on Ryder. Baruch re-enters the game, and Falou Gay steps on the floor for the first time. A first-year 6'6" point guard here for Sacred Heart from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Pioneers already going pretty deep into their bench. We've seen 8 different Pioneers on the court.
And that's what they do. Sacred Heart boasts depth this year. And that leads to their fast-paced offense. A lot of guys who can knock it down from 3 for the top 3-point shooting team in the MAC and the #1 offense in the league. Hill's going to let that go out of bounds as Ife West Ingram races to try to keep it.
I like that play from Ryder. That was a good high percentage shot. It just didn't fall.
22-14, Sacred Heart with the lead here in their second in 4 out of 5 at the Pitt Center.
Get any sub bowls?
Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub bowls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom. Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
This is a story about strength. It wakes up early in the morning, stays up late, moves mountains, and travels the world. It makes adventure and hard work possible. Strength delivers food to tables, packages to doorsteps, products to stores, and kids to practice. It shows up everywhere you show up. Hercules tires are built for almost every driver and every vehicle. Find the right Hercules for your story and let our strength drive yours.
Hold on. It's only noise.
Can Anthony Edwards live up to the hype?
It's only rivalry. A little hard work. Only a kick. It's only a jump.
Top 3-point shooting team in the MAC, 2 for 5 from downtown to start this one is the Sacred Heart team, where nearly 40% of their points come from the three-pointer. That's the 34th most in all of college basketball. They are 3-balling this year, and they've got the top 3 3-point shooters in the league. Anquan Hill, and it's not a small percentage. He's at 50% from deep, followed by Tanner Thomas. Very efficient at better than 45%, better than 45% as well. Coming off the bench, the first-year Nile Ralph Byer, who's got as pure a stroke as any shooter in this league.
Yeah, and this is really what basketball looks like now. You really rely on that three-point shot. Nobody takes more, nobody makes more than the Pioneers. And then conversely, nobody takes less and nobody makes less than Ryder. So in a matchup like this, they cannot allow themselves to get drowned by this three-point attack.
Big shout out to Ryan Peters, Pioneer Pride himself on Twitter. One of the great bloggers and writers of local college basketball in the tri-state area, with that tidbit about almost 39% of Sacred Heart scoring coming from the three-point game. 22-14 Sacred Heart. Falou Gay defending Tank Byard. Byard made a move on him, and he draws a foul.
That was a stagnant possession from Ryder. Not enough off-ball movement coming out of the timeout.
Gay picks up his first, and he also has a stop. And now he goes down. West Ingram takes his feet out. 11 minutes left in the first.
Pioneers are lucky to retain this possession. Their backcourt kind of left him out to dry after pulling down that rebound, and he got double-teamed at the baseline.
Sacred Heart's now in the bonus with just under 11 minutes to play in the first. That's the second personal on Ife West Ingram.
That's a lot of time left, Randy.
And he remains on the floor for Ryder. Anquan Hill, Falou Gay. Low pass handled by Ralph Byer. Looking to create his own shot. The scoop with one on the shot clock is good.
A sweet finish. Byer takes off from outside the paint, finished right under the rim with that right-handed flush.
Niall Ralph Byer, 9 points a game in his first season in college basketball. And he's more than just a three-point shooter, as he shows on that slash to the rim. Foul on Sacred Heart. It's Falou Gay picking up his second personal quickly.
Yeah, it looked like Weeks kind of tried to force the problem there. Surprised that this one was on the floor.
Gay picked up a quick 3 personals on Sunday against Manhattan coming off the bench in the first half. Hill guards Byer. Byer trying to back down Hill. He goes up and under on him, and Hill blocks him. He got a piece. Gay has handled the ball well as the backup point guard, 31 assists against 23 turnovers. Ralph Byer's pull-up is an air ball. Flash Burton up the floor for the Bronx. Byer pulls up and sinks it.
That is the 6th assist for Ryder, and I feel like they're playing a lot of isolation basketball on the other side of the court, so I want to see more hands touch the rock each possession.
Byer with 4 points. Anquan Hill sees some space. Bryce Johnson for 3. The rebound for Byer. Byer sets a hard screen for Burton to knock it down.
Bryce Johnson was expecting the drive there, left way too much space for Burton from midi.
It's a long 2, and it's 24-18. Baruch with the answer, his second three-pointer of the first half.
Let's find this guy more on the other end. Baruch is 3 for 3 from downtown.
Count that basket. Bryce Johnson commits the foul as Ife West Ingram hits the shot and goes to the line.
Bryce Johnson's already got 8 minutes off the bench. Only 12 minutes have been played, so he's finally going to sub out, but definitely some tired legs for the forward off the bench.
Although he was limited to just 11 minutes on Sunday, 2 points, 1 rebound, almost matching that effort here in the first half. That's the 5th shoe team foul. West Ingram looking for the three-point play.
Pep band letting him hear it.
5 points a game this year for Ife West Ingram. He went to Abington Friends. I wonder if he went to Abington Elementary before Abington Friends.
That's the NBC show?
ABC, I believe. We are on the worldwide leader.
Of course.
Make sure we give our proper flowers.
Credit where credit is due.
It's one of my favorite shows. Can't lie. Makes me want to go to Philadelphia.
Oh.
Skip pass. Tanner Thomas. Back out to Connor. Anquan Hill, corner 3. No good. The back tap by Thomas. It ends up in the hands of Cole McCabe off the bench. McCabe, a 6'8" freshman from Miami Beach. TJ Weeks Jr. going to work on Makai Connor. Cruz in the corner. Amiri Stewart deflected it. Hill to Stewart for the one-hand jam. He throws it down. He made the defensive play and the dunk for the exclamation point to make it 29-21 Sacred Heart.
Amiri Stewart made the most of that fast break with a tomahawk dunk on the other end after forcing a turnover on defense.
Jay Alvarez drives baseline, his reverse. No good. He goes up against Hill and Thomas. It'll be Sacred Heart basketball. He stepped on the end line. Again, terrific man defense by Tanner Thomas, who Anthony Latina praised last game against Manhattan for his one-on-one defense that you might not see in the box score. It's contributing to a 29-21 lead for Sacred Heart with 7:42 to go in the first half. defensive effort. He had his second steal that leads to that breakaway dunk. 4 steals for Sacred Heart, none for Ryder, and it's leading to fast break offense for Shoe.
Absolutely, and Amiri Stewart made the most out of that one, bringing the basketball out of his own pocket and slamming it home, getting the pep band into it.
He had a tough game last time out. 7 points, 4 rebounds, no assists, and 4 turnovers on 3 of 7 shooting against Manhattan. But he's put that in the rear view, averaging almost 12 points a game. Had a 21-point game against St. Peter's and a 16-point effort against Canisius earlier this season.
Yeah, he's already got 8 points and 2 steals in this one. Looking for number 10.
Amiri Stewart, 4 for 5 from the floor to start this game for 8 points. And it's back to a 10-point Sacred Heart lead. Burton to his left, no good, but the putback is. Cole McCabe cleans up the glass.
That's not what you want to see. Baruch was boxing out there. Looks like he caught a hand up high. Now he's adjusting that face mask he's wearing.
Sacred Heart taking care of the basketball, just 1 turnover. Riders turned it over 6 times, and as you just saw, Shoe outscoring Ryder on points off turnovers, 13-0. And of course, right on cue, a Sacred Heart turnover, Evan.
Yeah, that was Amiri Stewart with a foul there. Not yet in the bonus is Ryder, so it was a good foul from Amiri Stewart. They were going to be 2-on-1.
First foul on Stewart. Flash Burton running the motion offense to Andre Young. His pass broken up by Amiri Stewart, who looked to save it and almost ended up at the scorer's table.
Amiri Stewart is putting on a clinic so far. He's got 10 points in this first half, 2 steals, almost made it 3 with the active hands there, shutting down TJ Weeks.
6'3" guard. 1,000-point scorer between his 4 years at Wilmington and this 1 year at Sacred Heart, but he's racking up the steals, 40 coming into today, and he nearly had his third of the game off that last effort. 31-23, Sacred Heart. Stewart with the awkward exchange to Makai Connor.
Fortunate not to get a travel there.
Corner 3, Tanner Thomas, good. Shoe now 4 out of 10 from deep, and it's 34-23 Pioneers.
Tanner Thomas found his stroke. He started 0 for 2 from three-point land. That's his first one to go down.
Into the paint from McCabe, taking on Baruch. The help D comes from Connor, and they whistle a foul. Looks like Connor reaching in. He does pick up his first. Ryder now in the bonus.
McCabe's got about 4 inches on Baruch there. That was a mismatch in the paint. Good job identifying that and getting it down low.
1-1 coming for Cole McCabe, 7 for 11 from the free throw line this year. Comes to Ryder from IMG Academy. He hits the first.
Freshman averaging 1.5 points per game, so he'll happily take any trip to the line trying to boost that number.
1 for 2. Anquan Hill with a rebound. A 10-point lead for Sacred Heart, 5.5 to go in the first. Stewart kicks it. Baruch with the up fake. Burton got out to him. Amiri Stewart fading away from straightaway. Baruch with the offensive rebound. Anquan Hill for 3. Couple of misses from deep for the Pioneers, and Andre Young has the rebound. Burton attacks Connor. It's a second personal on Makai Connor.
Yeah, Amiri Stewart was a little confused there. He thought he got all ball, but they're going to get Connor beforehand with 2 hands on the hip. One and one for Flash Burton.
68% from the free throw line this year.
Latina making a sub for Connor. Stewart thought he was coming out. Coach Latina said, no, Amari, you're going to stay on the court as long as we can get you.
And Makai Connor goes to the bench with 2 fouls in favor of Niall Ralph Byer. Baruch leading the way with 9 points for Sacred Heart on 2 of 2 3-point shooting. Burton hits them both as Ruben Rodriguez checks back into the game, and Burton goes to the bench for a quick break. 34-26 Sacred Heart. 5 minutes left in the first half. Niall Ralph Byer, one of the top 3 3-point shooters in the league. Having trouble, Zacho Littleton Jr. averaging under 5 minutes per game on the ball defense.
Making the most of his minutes there. He almost forced a turnover on Byer.
Andre Young on Amiri Stewart. Tanner Thomas draws 2 and opens up a look for Anquan Hill, who rips the 3. The 5th three-pointer of the half for Sacred Heart.
Yeah, Ryder's done a great job of keeping the ball on the perimeter. They're switching when the screens do come, but the issue is closing out on the threes.
37-26, Bios by 11, and the possession's going back to Sacred Heart. Tanner Thomas did not touch it. He jumped the lane. The pass intended for Tank Byard, and Ryder turns it over again. Their 8th turnover.
Pioneers are 3rd in the league at forcing turnovers. They force an average of 13 a game, and they're 2nd in turnover to assist ratio.
Tanner Thomas backing in on Byard, fading away. Byard gets the stop and the rebound. Rodriguez, the hesitation move and the scoop. No good. Byard has the ball come to him. Ball never touched the rim, so no reset. Up and under Byard. It is good. Sacred Heart contests that. It was a goaltend on McCabe. No call.
Yeah, they're thinking McCabe got there a little bit early. Refs didn't see it that way. The 2 is good.
Three and a half to go in the first half. 37-28 Sacred Heart. Anquan Hill to his left, and he muscles his way over McCabe. That is why he is such a threat. He can score in so many different ways. 39-28 Pioneers. Hill up to 7 points. And Hill with a one-handed rebound. He rips it away from McCabe.
This is Hill working on McCabe again. We saw it on the offensive end when he took him to the rack and got 2. And that time he outboarded him with a one-armed box out.
His 4th rebound. Tanner Thomas to Hill. Excellent ball movement by the Pioneers. Amiri Stewart from Griffin Baruch. Missed the open look. Rodriguez throws it off the back of his teammate McCabe's leg. And it ends up with Baruch. 2.5 to go in the first half.
First half that is flying by. The pace of play is just nauseating from both these teams.
Baruch for 3. Short. Ralph Byer skies for the rebound. Boxed out by Byard. It's big possession here for Ryder. Trying to make it a single-digit game again. Byard knocks it down from the elbow, and Anthony Latina is going to use his use it or lose it right now with 2:06 to go in the first. Not sure he loved that defensive effort. Byard open from the elbow, knocks it down uncontested.
That's the only look for Ryder that I've seen consistently is that elbow mid-range shot.
Sacred Heart by 9.
This is a story about strength. It wakes up early in the morning, stays up late, moves mountains, and travels the world. It makes adventure and hard work possible. Strength delivers food to tables, packages to doorsteps, products to stores, and kids to practice. It shows up everywhere you show up. Hercules tires are built for almost every driver and every vehicle. Find the right Hercules for your story and let our strength drive yours.
Hey, what's up, roomie? I got us some Jersey Mike subs.
Danny DeVito? Are you my freshman roommate?
And that doesn't matter. This is a Jersey Mike's commercial where the subs matter most. I mean, look how big that is. We'd eat that for lunch and for dinner. Hey, we eat that. Hey, who let the rents in? You want a Jersey Mike's?
Introduce us to your new roommate.
Mom, it's Danny DeVito.
That's mine. Don't touch it. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Anchored in a region that stretches across vibrant cities and historic landscapes, our institutions are driven by a commitment to academic and athletic excellence. Our student athletes are not only champions through competition and in the classroom, they are lending a helping hand to build a better tomorrow. Join us in shaping a brighter future in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Anquan Hill has been an absolute difference maker this year for Sacred Heart. Redshirt junior out of Philadelphia. Take a look at that stat line from last game. 24 points, a career high, 10 rebounds for the double-double. But the efficient shooting, 9 out of 12 from the floor, 4 for 6 from downtown. It's a young man, third in the MAC in field goal percentage overall, 57%. And first in the league in three-point shooting at 50%. He started his career at FDU, where he was Rookie of the Year in the NEC. Went to St. Bonaventure, then landed at Sacred Heart. Had a red shirt last year. But everybody around this program said when he's on the floor, when he finally suits up, he is going to be a difference maker, and he has come as advertised this season.
Yeah, efficiency is the name of his game. He's added more than 16 points per game in the last 4 games. And over that span, Randy, he's only missed 9 shots.
And again, just a credible efficiency at 57% overall on the season. Amiri Stewart having to work for it. Baruch for Stewart. Bryce Johnson back on the floor. To his left. Nowhere to go. Tanner Thomas. 4 on the shot clock. Fade away. The Rider Bronx get the stop. The rebound to West Ingram.
This is what I'm interested to see going into halftime and then coming out of halftime. Really, so far this game for the Bronx, no 2 possessions have looked the same in the offensive zone. It's not really clear what they're trying to do.
TJ Weeks Jr. stripped of the basketball by Bryce Johnson, off to the races and fouled by Burton. Burton's going to make Bryce Johnson earn these points.
Absolutely. Bryce Johnson picked his pocket clean, but a good hard foul on this end, making sure that 2 points didn't turn into 3.
That's now 6 steals for Sacred Heart here in the first half. 2 for Johnson, Stewart, and Baruch each. Bryce Johnson almost 70% from the line this year. Back up to a double-digit Sacred Heart lead. He goes 1 for 2. Tank Byard secures the rebound. West Ingram down the floor with a kick out. Burton a 3. Good! Flash Burton knocks it down. Big shot for Ryder.
Perfect timing on the 3-point shot. Catch and shoot. Got it on the laces. Feet set. Got it off before the closeout.
Whoa! Amiri Stewart going for the dunk against the defender, but he catches all iron. Bryce Johnson secures the rebound. And a foul whistled against the Bronx.
Amiri Stewart is playing like his hair is on fire so far in this opening half. And this time he tried to put him on a poster. Put it off the back rim, but a nice jab to create the separation. Takes it to the paint with some authority.
He went after Tank Byard. You know you're confident when you're trying to throw down on a dude named Tank.
This is Bryce Johnson and finding himself on the free throw line. This is attempt number 6 for Bryce Johnson.
42-33 Sacred Heart. Shoot 10 of 12 from the free throw line in the first half.
That's how you win games, especially in conference.
That and good ball movement, 9 assists to just 2 Sacred Heart turnovers. 30 seconds left in the first half. Burton to Byard. Good, and the foul on Johnson. Tank Byard going to the line for a three-point play. First foul on Johnson. And Mackay Connor will re-enter in the final 29 seconds of the first half.
Also checking in, the freshman Cole McCabe. He's already racked up almost 7 minutes in this opening half.
Byard makes good on it. The foul is actually whistled against Tanner Thomas, not Johnson. First personal on Thomas. It has felt like all Sacred Heart here in the first half, but with 25 seconds to go in the first half, just a 6-point game.
I was about to say that. If I'm Bronx head coach Kevin Baggett, I'm telling my players to look up at the scoreboard. They're 2 shots away from this being tied at half.
The shot clock off. Mackay Connor out near half court. 10 seconds to go. He's going to take it. He finds a cutting Thomas for the lay-in with 5 seconds left in the half. Flash Burton dishes it off. Weeks! It would have counted, but TJ Weeks Jr. misses the mark. And it's a 44-36 lead for Sacred Heart over Rider at halftime.
Yeah, that too makes an 8-point lead feel a lot different than that 6-point lead did. And this is a hotly contested first half with both teams wasting no time on the offensive end. And the defense overall, I think, has been really solid. Besides the Riders' ability to close out on these threes, I think it could be a different game.
Sacred Heart with 10 team assists and only 2 turnovers, leading to them shooting 56% in the first half, 14 out of 25 from the floor. That's Rider. Rider shooting 56% from the floor, 43% for Shoe, 5 for 15 from downtown. McKenna Wright is standing by with Kyle Steinway, associate head coach. Sacred Heart with a lead over Rider at halftime. Another big one in the MAC. Sacred Heart looking to move over 500 in MAC play. Rider at 4-7, looking for a big second half effort to get back in the win column.
Anquan Hill was plus 13 in this opening half, and he's making his difference on both sides of the court, but it's Rider doing their best, treading water and keeping this thing close after 20.
Baruch, the leader, with 9 points for the Pioneers, 11 from Byard for Rider. What about
Do you have her?
(44-36), Sacred Heart leads Ryder at halftime. Courtside alongside Evan Cormier, Randy Brochu. Sacred Heart with an opportunity here, Evan, playing 4 out of 5 games at home, beginning with that win on Sunday, to take advantage of the schedule right now and try to get a little separation. We talk so much about being one of the 10 out of 13 in the new format to get to the MAC tournament this year. But being a top 6 finish is big too. That puts you right into the quarterfinal round. Sacred Heart with an opportunity to keep things going. They've got the lead at halftime. As we take a look at what the playoff picture would look like if the season ended today, which of course it does not. We'll be at the MAC tournament the second week of March in Atlantic City. But right now, Sacred Heart sitting in that 6th spot.
Yeah, Ryder's a team that's really fighting for their lives, so they don't have a game to waste. They're down by 8 at halftime, looking to make some headway. But going into this tournament, the Pioneers are in a great position to not only maintain within the top 6, but kind of move up a little bit for seeding purpose. And every team in the MAC, aside from Manhattan, is in action tonight. There's 6 tip-offs, all at 7 p.m. So we're going to know a lot more about this playoff picture come about 10:30.
And you can't sleep on this Ryder team. They may be down in the league standings right now, but just last year, they ended the regular season on a 7-game winning streak. That finished them at 15-17 overall, 12-8 in MAC play. This year, 8-14 overall, but some of those losses came during a very tough non-conference schedule, including UCLA, Iowa, Villanova, Delaware. And again, they have a win against Marist, handing the first place team their first loss in conference play. So it's a Ryder team that has great pedigree. 2 years ago, finishing in 2nd place in the MAC, and last year riding that 7-game winning streak into the tournament.
Yeah, well, Ryder's got a chance. They've got a game over a couple teams behind them, so it's going to be a big month.
More coverage coming up at halftime from the pit.
Yep, I have it on. Can you hear me? Okay. Sure. One, two, three. Sounds like I can hear myself my IFB. Okay.
Okay.
44-36, Sacred Heart leads Ryder at halftime. Joined courtside right now by Evan Cormier and McKenna Wright, who talked to Coach Kyle Steinway right before he headed to the locker room. Is this thing on? It wasn't on, unfortunately, but I know you had some good information from Coach Steinway. What'd you learn?
Yeah, well, I got to talk to him pregame, and I asked him what's going to be the key to taking down this Ryder squad tonight. And he says that statistically, the Pioneers play one of the fastest paces of play in the MAC, but Ryder is on the opposite end of that. So he says the key to them tonight is going to be to force them to play their pace of play. So I asked him, have your Pioneers achieved that? And he says, I think so. We got to clean up some of our areas underneath the hoop and whatnot, and be a little more disciplined when it comes to taking fouls. And then I asked him, who do you lean on here in the second half? Is it your bench players? Is it your starters? He says it's going to be a full team effort. He needs his entire bench to be pulling on that rope.
And Evan, when you play that kind of pace, as fast as Kyle Steinway and the coaching staff want to see Sacred Heart play, bench play is so important. And right now, everybody's taking care of the rock, and they're distributing it as well, playing very selfless basketball tonight and throughout this good stretch during MAC play.
You're absolutely right. Well, the Pioneers have the best turnover to assist ratio in the entire MAC conference, and that has continued tonight as they've got 10 assists to only 2 turnovers. But for Ryder coming into this game, I said they were going to need to box out these guards. You have your work already cut out for you against the pace of play that these Pioneers play with. You cannot let that back court generate second chance opportunities, and they did just that in that first half. Only 3 rebounds coming to guards for the Pioneers. So Ryder's doing a good job of cleaning the boards. They need to turn that into offense on the other end. They very rarely look like they've really had a plan. It's been a lot of isolation, trying to dance around screens, but not enough off-ball movement generating open looks.
Pioneers looking to put 2 halves together. They're up 44-36. We're going to get McKenna a new mic, and we're going to have the second half of Ryder and Sacred Heart in another MAC battle. A big one. Stop me if you've heard me say this before. They're all big when it comes to conference play. Trying to get to the boardwalk in March. Sacred Heart up 44-36 on Ryder. We're just about set for the second half. Sacred Heart with a lead, 44-36 over Ryder. Tank and Tanner, the prime performers for their respective teams in the first half. Tank Byard, 5 out of 6 for 11 points. Part of 56% field goal shooting as a team for Ryder, keeping them in this one. Tanner Thomas with 8 points and filling up the stat sheet in other ways. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Last game, Sacred Heart's 2-point win over Manhattan. Tanner Thomas nearly dropped a double-double, 12 points, 9 rebounds, and it was a quiet 12 and 9 because he does so many things to make everybody around him better.
Yeah, and it feels like this has been a quiet 8 for Tanner Thomas, but if you look at the score sheet for the Pioneers, you really could have picked anybody. Anquan Hill had 7, Baruch had 9, all threes, Amari Stewart with 8, and Bryce Johnson with 7 as well. So the Pioneers are really getting it done everywhere they can.
Ryder ball to begin the second. Flash Burton running point. TJ Weeks bangs the 3 in the first possession. And just like that, it's a 5-point game.
That is a great start for Ryder, but it's going to be all for naught if they don't take care of the ball in this second half. The turnover battle was 10-2 in favor of the Pioneers in that first half. And hold on to your seat, Randy, because they scored 17 points off turnovers in that first half as well, did the Pioneers.
29 bench points from Ryder. Just 9 for Sacred Heart, and depth is a strength of Sacred Heart's. Connor fouled and is going to the line.
9 points off the bench for Sacred Heart, 7 of those coming from Bryce Johnson and just 2 from Ralph Byer.
He put Andre Young in the spin cycle. Connor at 71% this year from the free throw line. A star at Notre Dame West Haven. Connecticut kid playing his college basketball, just a short ride up the Merritt Parkway from New Haven.
It's a short ride, but it is not a fun one, Randy. I make it every morning. It gets old real fast.
It's a short ride certain times a day. Yeah. Other times a day, it can be a grind to get from New Haven County to Fairfield County, or vice versa. Connor goes 1 for 2 from the line. Back to a 6-point Pioneer lead. Ryder picked 7th in the preseason poll this year. The big man, Tariq Ingram, banging down low with Tanner Thomas.
Tariq Ingram had a very quiet first half as he made the first field goal of the game just 30 seconds in, and he did not take a shot after that, Randy. Only 2 points in the opening 20.
That's a kickball by Thomas. Fresh 20 seconds on the clock for Weeks Jr. Catch and shoot. Flash Burton for 3. Tanner Thomas with a box out to get the Pioneers the possession off the miss as he wins the battle underneath with Ife West Ingram.
Yeah, Wes Ingram hooked him by the arm there, and that's his 3rd foul. It's a number to keep an eye on early in the second half.
Makai Connor off the feed from Anquan Hill with a finger roll on the fast break.
And that
he
was
explode off that handoff.
That was just pure athleticism, outrunning Andre Young, and I think he finished it with a strong hand.
I called it a fast break. I guess you can't really have a fast break in a half-court set, but it felt like it.
It was a fast break for sure.
Ingram ducks in. Anquan Hill with a stop and another rebound for Tanner Thomas. Makai Connor floats it up to Hill. Tanner Thomas ducks his shoulder and draws a foul on West Ingram.
I just mentioned he was at 3. Now I think he's at 4 for West Ingram.
Now he's at 3. They didn't get him for the foul on the previous possession.
Still pleading his case down there.
A lot of time left for Ife West Ingram in foul trouble. 2 free throws coming for Tanner Thomas at 76% from the line this year. Another Connecticut guy from Stanford. Of course, his brother Tyler Thomas was a star here at Sacred Heart. They briefly played together for 1 year. Tanner Thomas turning into a bona fide star in the MAC in his redshirt junior year.
Out comes West Ingram. In comes Jay Alvarez. Less than 2 minutes in, Ryder's already forced to make a substitution because of foul trouble.
Thomas in the double figures, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Pioneers with a trap. Griffin Baruch reaching for it along the sideline with Ingram. And it's a foul against Sacred Heart. Tanner Thomas picks up his second. Flash Burton against Makai Connor. Myrie Stewart sticking with TJ Weeks off the ball. Burton skips it. Alvarez off the bench. Misses the three. And it hops up over the backboard out of bounds.
That was great defensive instinct from Anquan Hill. They were trying to set up a pick and roll with Ingram. Hill kept his hands high. Wasn't allowing that pass to come in the paint. It went out wide. We know that's not Rider's game. They missed the three-point attempt.
Hill at 6'9", a difference maker there too. The ball slapped out of his hands by Ingram. Myrie Stewart hops on it. Makai Connor faked the pass, and he gets it underneath to Tanner Thomas. Defended by 2 underneath. TJ Weeks comes away with a rebound off the miss. Weeks faked left and then goes right. He got Myrie Stewart out of position and draws a foul on him.
Yeah, nice jab step. Almost put Myrie Stewart to the hard wood. Take another look. There it is. But nice job by the Pioneers defense collapsing. Makai Connor with the help.
Second personal on Stewart. Ruben Rodriguez inbounds. TJ Weeks Jr. Transferring here with Tyreek Weeks from Warwick, Rhode Island. Pull up. Tariq Ingram knocks it down.
Ingram's not really a player that's going to take you off the dribble. It's either going to be a catch and shoot in the paint or a mid-range shot just like that.
No look behind the back. Connor to Hill for 3. Ryder comes away with a defensive board. Flash Burton. No look. This one on the fast break. Ruben Rodriguez is fouled. And Rodriguez goes to the line.
Again, this is one of those games where you just watch it. It feels like the Pioneers are in total control. But right now, they're 2 free throws away from being 2 shots out once again. And I think it's because Ryder's done such a great job at attacking the paint and forcing these turnovers. Or free throws, rather.
Rodriguez looking to get on the board. Misses the free throw. He's a pass-first point guard. Better than a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. 62 assists, 28 turnovers, but just 3 points a game. On the line, he's 11 out of 18, good for 61%. And he goes 0 for 2.
6 for 11. 6 for 11 now from the free throw line is Ryder. They've left 5 points out there.
Look at this ball movement. Hill hits it. Connor threaded it through to Baruch. A little give and go between him and Hill hits the 3.
Anquan Hill now in double digits. His second 3 of the game.
Sacred Heart with 6 3-point baskets today. Their first of the second half. Shot clock's down to 8 for Ingram. He hands it to Weeks Jr. Short on the 3. Baruch with the rebound. Up the floor, Myrie Stewart. Got past the defense for the lay-in. Timeout, Ryder. Myrie Stewart beats everyone down the floor, and he's in a double figures. 54-41. Sacred Hearts opened up a 13-point lead with just over 16 to go.
This second half has been the best version of the Pioneers, forcing turnovers, hitting threes, and then stretching the floor on the fast break.
Bryce Johnson and the Pioneers with tunnel vision for the hoop. They're up 13 in the second half.
Hold on. It's only noise.
Can Anthony Edwards live up to the hype?
It's only rivalry. A little hard work. Only a kick. It's only a jump.
than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly. More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Thanks for getting these sub bowls.
Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub bowls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom. Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above. Hey, what's up, roomie? I got us some Jersey Mike's subs.
Danny DeVito? Are you my freshman roommate?
And that doesn't matter. This is a Jersey Mike's commercial where the subs matter most. I mean, look how big that is. We'd eat that for lunch and for dinner. Hey, we eat that. Hey, who let the rents in? You want a Jersey Mike's?
Introduce us to your new roommate.
Mom, it's Danny DeVito.
That's mine. Don't touch it. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
3 in double figures for Sacred Heart, and it's the ball movement that opens up the look for Anquan Hill and Amiri Stewart on the fast break. Look at that home run pass from Connor. Ahead to Amiri Stewart, hit him in stride, and the Pioneers right now playing like a unit.
The Pioneers up to 12 assists on a 10-2 run to close out the opening quarter of that second half.
Amiri Stewart, the third player in double figures for the Pioneers, and Baruch has 9. Balanced scoring tonight from Shu. Again, Ingram powers his way to the basket and scores on Amiri Stewart. 55-43, the Pioneers. Another no-look behind the back dish by Connor, who gets it back from Johnson and rips a three. The 7 3-pointer tonight for Shu. 7 out of 18.
Kai Connors now 2 for 2 from downtown, 9 points, extending this lead to 14. I believe that's the biggest lead of the game for the Pioneers.
3 with 10, 2 with 9. Burton pulls up, no good. Johnson crashes but couldn't secure it. Tariq Ingram rips it away. And the Wake Forest transfer with another basket. Ingram has 8. Ralph Byer, a contested 3. Over Weeks! 8 3-pointers for Shu. And Niall Ralph Byer, third in the conference at 45%, gets in on the fun.
Pioneers 8 for 20 from downtown. Their percentage coming into this half was very close to Riders, but Ryder had only taken 6. The Pioneers had taken 16.
A layup underneath Jay Alvarez, who had a 28-point game against Iona, a 23-point game against Manhattan. Lays it in, back to a 13-point Pioneer lead. That just disrupted their largest lead of the game at 15. Amiri Stewart loses the basketball, defended underneath by Ingram. Flash Burton avoids the offensive foul and the travel. From the corner, Ife West Ingram with a miss. Connor for Johnson, going up for the dunk. And he is blocked by Ife West Ingram. What a rejection. Now on the other end, Weeks Jr., a 3, in and out. Johnson gets back down the floor for the defensive board. Off the turnover, Sacred Heart outscoring Ryder 17-0. Off the glass, no good for 3 from Stewart. Numbers for Ryder. Alvarez underneath to Ingram for the lay-in.
Ingram has come alive here in the second half, scoring 8 points in the opening 7 minutes. He ended the first half with just 2.
60-49, Shu coming up on 13 minutes left in regulation. Anquan Hill draws a double team. He finds an open Johnson spinning his way into the paint. Defended by Ingram, who moves it down the floor for the fast break lay-in by Jay Alvarez.
That's 3 fast break attempts in a row for the Pioneers. They are not getting back on defense. They look a little bit winded in the offensive side. Maybe you might think about taking a timeout if you're Coach Latina.
Burton with a hand check foul at half court will bring them into the media timeout. That's a best case situation for Anthony Latina, as their lead has dwindled from 15 to 9. It's 60 to 51. Sacred Heart 12:39 to go into regulation. Another fast-paced action game in the MAC tonight at the Pit. Pios by 9.
Thirteen, 14, 15, 16. Welcome back, Pioneers leading 60 to 51, nearly halfway through the second. And at this time of the season, Coach Steinway tells me there's no such thing as freshman players anymore. You got 20-plus games under your belt, but one of those freshman players he talked about was Niall Ralph Byer. He said this guy has really become one of those staple bench players for the Pioneers. He hit that wall earlier in the season. He said that's something that all these players go through, but he really fought through it and got through that. He said you're coming out of high school where you've always been the best player on the team and you've never failed. So he's really been proud of how Ralph Byer has really stepped up, taken on his role as being one of those really impressive bench players, like showing what some of the amazing threes he's made so far in this second half. Guys?
Thank you, McKenna. And when you have a three-point stroke, a jump shot as pure as Ralph Byer's, you're not going to stay in slumps too long.
Yeah, Byer's got 5 points tonight, all on the field, 1 in the paint, 1 from three-point land.
Zion Cruz with a takeaway for Ryder. Down 9. Weeks into the paint. McCabe over Johnson gets the friendly roll.
That was started with Weeks in that jab step once again. When you have the athleticism that this junior guard has, you're going to find space like that. And that time, the jab step led to some separation.
Makai Connor pulls up for 3. Ralph Byer, the rebound, and the step back 3 is good. Eight points for Ralph Byer. 9 3-pointers tonight for Sacred Heart. And it's back to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, and it was nothing but net for number 2.
Jay Alvarez hoists. Tanner Thomas skies for the rebound, his 6th board. Connor leaves it for Ralph Byer. Pull up 3. Just a little short. Yeah. Alvarez with the rebound.
He left that one about 2 inches short, and I actually saw him communicating with Makai Booker on this side. Ooh, nice
Cruz
finish
with a finger roll and the lay-in. Yeah, Zion Cruz.
It was Makai Connor They were having a conversation on the defensive end saying when we get down to the offensive end, drop it off for me. I want to take a three. That's exactly what he did. Left it a little bit short, turned into points on the other end.
Communication, Evan. It's the key to life. Certainly in basketball. Tanner Thomas, a three. It's good! And the Pioneers have hit 10 threes tonight. Thomas with 13 points. Back to an 11-point advantage for Sacred Heart. Weeks Jr. with a pull-up. Too strong. Ralph Byer taps it to Thomas. Ahead of Bryce Johnson. And he gives it up. He was looking for Ralph Byer. Stolen by TJ Weeks Jr. on the fast break for two.
It's going to be the first points off turnover for Rider. I guess better late than never with 10 minutes left to play in the second half. But again, they're going on a little run here, bringing it closer.
It runs in the family. His dad Tyrone, a 1,000-point scorer for UMass back in the mid-90s. Thomas with a mid-range game, knocks down another, and he's up to 15.
Yeah, he continues his takeover. He's 3 rebounds shy of a double-double.
68-57, Sacred Heart. Byard setting the screen. Connor works his way around it to contest Cruz, but it opens up a look for three by McCabe. No good. And the Pioneers save it on the baseline. Thomas and Connor connecting. Bryce Johnson had that pass just a little bit behind him. Byard leads it ahead for Alvarez. Fast break points for Rider again.
Again off the fast break, again off the turnover, and that's how you bring a game a lot closer. The Pioneers were dominating both the turnover department and the points off turnover. Now it's starting to even out a little bit, and we're seeing how that plays out. Pioneers up to 5 turnovers now.
9 minutes left, and it's a 9-point game. 68-59, the Pioneers. Connor steps out of bounds off the exchange with Thomas. Subs in, Zacho Littleton Jr. amongst them for Rider when we come back. 68-59, Sacred Heart with the lead. Rider is hanging in there. 8:47 to go in the second half. The Pioneers looking to build on their lead and make it 4 wins in a row. 72 is not just a stretch of highway in central Connecticut that leads to the worldwide leader, ESPN. It's also sort of a magic number for the Bronx success this season.
Yeah, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Randy. They're 7-1 this season when the opponent scores less than 72 points. The Pioneers are only 4 points shy of that benchmark. So, you know, regarding a cataclysmic implosion on the Pioneer side, they're going to hit that number. So it's time for the Bronx to be trend breakers as they trail by 9 with 8.5 to play.
And the only game that broke that trend, they led for 9 minutes. The last 9 minutes, most of the last 9 minutes, until there were 8 seconds left last game in the loss to Merrimack when Bud Clark broke their hearts. Cruz with a pull-up jump shot, and he has made it a 7-point game. Baruch a 3. No good. A defensive rebound for Tank Byard. Now the Bronx could cut it to a 2-possession game. Cruz again hits. Zion Cruz out of Trenton, New Jersey has upped his game in MAC play. He's averaging 9.1 points a game, but in MAC play almost 11 points a game, and he's made it a 5-point game. Connor a 3. The answer for Sacred Heart. Makai Connor, almost the same spot. He hit his game-winning 3 on Sunday.
He's not always there, but he's always on time. That is a giant 3-point play for the Pioneers as they were dangerously close to allowing Ryder to be within 1 shot.
Now 11 3-pointers today for Sacred Heart. Cruz to the wing. Hill defends the big man Ingram. Ingram looking uncomfortable with 7. He spins to his right. And he says, I don't need comfort. I got strength and size. And he bulldozes his way in for 2.
Yeah, that was Ingram with the size. Anquan Hill was defending him in the paint, caught him leaning, hit him with that spin move, buried it from about a foot out.
71-65, Sacred Heart coming up on 7 minutes left. Amiri Stewart skips to Baruch. 6 to shoot for Shu. Tanner Thomas fading away. It's good. He sinks it silky smooth. Tanner Thomas has 17.
Yeah, Thomas was hitting a rhythm dribble at the top of the key. Saw that there was no help in the paint. Decided to drive. Comes away with 2.
Amiri Stewart closes out on Cruz, who thought about the 3. Back inside for Byard. Backing down Thomas. Off the back iron, he gets his own miss with a left hand. Another miss. And Anquan Hill secures the rebound. Tanner Thomas from Makai Connor for 3! And the Sacred Heart 3-point shooting is on display here in the second half. They are 6 for 10 from downtown. (76-65), the Pioneers reestablish an 11-point lead. And a timeout called by Ryder.
How about 20 points and 8 rebounds for that man right there. Tanner Thomas having an excellent game on his home court. Another Tanner Thomas 3 getting back on defense, and the Pioneers are making it rain from downtown.
20 points for Tanner Thomas and an 11-point lead for Shu.
This is a story about strength. It wakes up early in the morning, stays up late, moves mountains, and travels the world. It makes adventure and hard work possible. Strength delivers food to tables, packages to doorsteps, products to stores, and kids to practice. It shows up everywhere you show up. Hercules tires are built for almost every driver and every vehicle. Find the right Hercules for your story and let our strength drive yours.
Hold on. It's only noise.
Can Anthony Edwards live up to the hype?
It's only rivalry. A little hard work. Only a kick. It's only a jump.
6:16 left, 76-65. Sacred Heart 12 for 27 from deep. In the second half now 7 for 12. Led by Tanner Thomas, who has 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. Tanner Thomas doing what the best player on the team does, taking over in the second half.
Yeah, and this is a Rider team that just will not go down silently. They're actually now leading the Pioneers with 17 fast break points. They've got 6 on the second chance, 38 in the paint, and 8 off the turnover. So this has been a second half that's shown severe improvement from that first half for Rider. And again, they're trailing by 11, but we've seen them go on a couple runs already.
The Sacred Heart team shooting 37% from deep coming into today at 44% tonight with their 12 three-point made baskets on 27 attempts. Possession stays with Rider. Flash Burton open for 3. He needed that one. It's short. Thomas with the rebound. Connor ahead to Amiri Stewart, attacking the rim. He misses. Baruch there for the tap back. And Griffin Baruch is into double figures. 5 Pioneers with 10 or more. Baruch has 11.
Baruch's been wildly efficient in his 28.5 minutes on the court. He's 3 for 5 from the field, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. As you mentioned, now he's got 11 points, 4 rebounds, only 1 foul as well on the defensive end.
Amiri Stewart, 5 for 12 from the floor today. He and Hill both with 12. Both with 10. Connor has 12. 11 from Baruch, and Thomas leading the way with 20. Sacred Heart as a team shooting 47% from the floor.
Kai Connors are also pairing 6 assists with those 12 points, staying hot in that column.
And Tanner Thomas 1 rebound away from a double-double. 7 for 14 from the floor today.
Pioneers have now surpassed their season average of 15.7 assists per game. That's a number that's best in league.
They knock down their shots, but they also open up their looks with elite ball movement at this level. Cruz, the pull-up. No good. A one-handed rebound ripped down by Jay Alvarez. Cruz goes down. Amiri Stewart argues that his defense was good, but their feet get tangled, and Cruz and Amiri Stewart. Well, Cruz with some words for Amiri Stewart, who's having a talk with the official. Amiri Stewart threw his hand and yelled at the official. The official saying, not going to have any of that. And Amiri Stewart just drowned out Zion Cruz trying to deliver a message. A three-pointer no good for TJ Weeks Jr. Another rebound for Jay Alvarez. His hook rejected. Tanner Thomas with a block. Connor comes down with it. And a hand check foul at half court from Flash Burton. Check that. It's going to be Andre Young.
Now we're going to have a conversation with the Pioneers. The referee telling him to settle down a little bit. That time we saw some shenanigans after the whistle, trying to get an alley-oop on this end. And again, we were John on this side, so the referee's trying to keep it in check with just 5 minutes to play.
A 13-point lead for Sacred Heart. Amiri Stewart kicks. Connor, deep three. No good. Offensive rebound! And the putback slam by Anquan Hill. Woo! Woo! Flying for that rebound and throwing down. Zion Cruz pulls up. It's short. 80-65. Hill racing down the floor. And before Connor could get a playoff, we've got a foul called.
Just when I thought the Pioneers were smelling blood in the water, going for the kill shot, it seems like they might have found their Achilles heel. Let's look at this putback dunk from Anquan Hill. We're going to take one more look. Makai Connor, he reads it perfectly, leaps at the right time, two-handed flush, and then he pumps up the crowd a little bit.
Technical foul was called on Sacred Heart, so Weeks Jr. is on the line. I'm not sure if it was Hill or Stewart who got teed up. It makes it a 14-point game. Weeks Jr. goes 1 for 2 on the technical foul free throws. (80-66), Sacred Heart.
Connor's directing traffic. Looks like the Pioneers are a little out of sorts in the last 60 seconds since that big dunk.
Anquan Hill going up for another dunk. This time he meets the front of the rim. Looking for back-to-back dunks. Zacho Littleton Jr. thought about the three. Weeks Jr. nails the three. It's an 11-point game with 4 minutes left.
He's come to play from downtown. He's now 3 of 6 hitting that shot. Maybe want to take a few more with 4 minutes left to play. Riders running out of possessions. They need to make the most of them.
Stewart is playing with 4 fouls, so he was called for the technical. Connor dishes to Stewart. Good on the foul! And he smiles at Cole McCabe. He's got to be careful, already teed up.
I was very worried that they might have got him for the eye contact on the flex, but it looks like there's just going to be 1 foul and a timeout called. But again, this is the officiating crew that's beginning to grow tired of the Pioneer antics. When you play with as much swagger as they play with, you got to keep them in check sometimes.
And they are feeling their game tonight. 82-69, Sacred Heart over Rider. 3:40 to go. Dunks, and there are daggers. Sometimes there are dagger dunks. Anquan Hill throwing down, flying high, and that might be the one that says Rider back to New Jersey.
Yeah, 12 points and 6 rebounds for Anquan Hill. And that's a twofer. He's going to get a rebound and 2 points for that exclamation mark right there. Rider trails by 13, 3 minutes, 40 seconds to play, but the Pioneers are starting to get in trouble with this officiating crew.
4 fouls on Amiri Stewart, who has whistled for a technical after that dunk. Hey, they're playing with swagger. They're not here to make friends. It is a push to the playoffs in the MAC between Rider and Sacred Heart. He really is a nice guy.
He looks like he's got a $1 million smile.
He
Randy
does. He should be smiling today. 12 points, 6 out of 13 from the floor, couple of rebounds, couple of steals, and an assist. Everybody's stuffing the stat sheet for Shu tonight with 5 in double figures. And Thomas 1 rebound shy of a double-double.
Niagara is looking to make a bad night worse for Riders. They've got a 2-point lead in North Andover taking on Merrimack, and they're a team that sits 1 behind Rider in the standings. So this could prove to be a big Thursday night for Niagara. Might wiggle their way into the tournament.
Our score here in Fairfield, 83-69, Sacred Heart. 3.5 to go. Cole McCabe for Weeks Jr. Stepping back, long two, too strong. Amiri Stewart skies for the rebound. Connor to Baruch, the up fake 3, and then he gets tugged on the jersey by McCabe for a foul.
Pioneers will take that foul all day. They're leading by 14 with just over 3 minutes to play. And this is a team that we mentioned, they've got the fastest pace of play in the MAC, but this is a time where you're gonna wanna slow it down, shorten the amount of possessions that your opponent has. Really don't let them get back into it.
Sacred Heart now in the bonus. Aladdin Boutayeb has just entered the game, a 7'2" junior center from Morocco.
I was watching him during warm-ups, Randy. He's every bit of that 7 foot 2 inches.
3 minutes left. 83-69 shoot. Stewart to Hill in the corner. Hill takes off for another dunk. Anquan Hill roughing up the rim tonight at the pit. (85-69) Sacred Heart. Littleton Jr. steps back for 3 and hits. 85-72. Sacred Heart by 13. 2.5 to go.
I'd like to see a little bit more pressure from Rider. They've got to force a turnover or something. They're trailing by 13.
Anquan Hill misses, but Makai Connor has the rebound. Falling down. He misses, but Baruch is there to clean up. Sacred Heart in no hurry, even though they did not hit the rim, so the shot clock winding down to 10 with 2 minutes to play. Anquan Hill takes off again. His reverse layup off the bottom of the rim, but he is fouled. And Hill with 14 points today goes to the line looking to add to his total.
And he is taken over in the second half when it really matters, grabbing metal all over the place, and now he's going to be at the charity stripe trying to put this one out of reach.
You know, with all these dunks and the exciting three-point plays, Sacred Heart 12 for 29. They are 15 for 18 from the free throw line. 15 for 19 as the old announcer's jinx comes into play. As they said in Anchorman, 60% of the time, it works every time.
Paul Rudd, you guys look strikingly similar. You ever get that one?
Said no one ever. Thank you.
The junior guard, Jack McFadden, has checked in the game for Rider from Endwell, New York.
86-72, Sacred Heart, under 2 to go. And the struggles continue for Rider. Coming off the heartbreaking loss to Merrimack, in which they led for most of the final 9 minutes. Jack McFadden misses. Falou Gay running point. Ralph Byer back on the floor along with Johnson for the Pioneers. Ralph Byer draws a foul. He got slapped on the hand. Foul on Littleton. Entering the game for Sacred Heart, Taj Bryant and Keyshawn Miller. So a couple of the players down the bench being rewarded. Bryant has appeared in 7 games. Miller has appeared in 8. Ralph Byer missed the first. He makes the second. He has a quiet 9 today.
Yeah, well, you're going to struggle to find anybody on the Pioneers who isn't scoring. This is the highest scoring offense in the conference at 75.7 points per game, but they're also giving up the most points against every single game at 75.7 as well, and Rider's at 74. So the defense is struggling once again tonight.
Andre Young makes good on the bank shot. But the Pioneers in total control, up 13. Their lead has been mostly between 9 and 15 all game. A drive to the rim. No good for Taj Bryant, the first year from Queens. Under a minute to go. Young inside of the 7-2 center, Butayeb. Out to the corner for three. It's good. That is Tyreek Weeks, brother of TJ Weeks. Getting in here, he transferred with TJ from Miami-Dade County when his brother TJ came from UMass. The two brothers from Warwick, Rhode Island playing together. And for Sacred Heart, they're going to get in Lucius Gibson Sabadell, first year redshirt from Bayshore, New York. This is his 5th appearance of the season with 34 seconds left.
Lou Gay was trying to take him off the dribble. He might get a trip to the line in the bonus now. Add a couple points to the season total, why not? And the Pioneers can almost officially shift their focus to Fairfield, which I'm sure it was hard not to do all week. We know on campus here in Sacred Heart, that's a big game.
Sacred Heart trying to beat Fairfield for the first time ever, but Fairfield is down right now. At the bottom of the standings, Falou Gay with free throws coming. And this will make it 4 wins in a row for Sacred Heart on the heels of 4 straight losses, tough losses, right at the very last second to both Merrimack and Mount St. Mary's. And a pretty lopsided loss at Siena. That was the game Griffin Baruch was hurt. St. Peter's outlasted them by 5, but then consecutive wins in the vaunted Western New York trip. Mauricio D'Alessandro in the game out of Charlottesville, Virginia, appearing in his 3rd game. And then the Pioneers, of course, the win on Sunday, the thriller, the 2-point win over Manhattan, and a very complete effort today, 89-77, taking them into another tough stretch through February. The rivalry game Saturday night, crosstown against Fairfield. And then on Valentine's Day, another all-Connecticut matchup on ESPNU against Quinnipiac, right towards the top of the league as well.
The thing Pioneers fans need to be asking is this just another streak, or is this Pioneers team here to stay? Because all throughout the season, it's been a streak here and a streak there. They'll win 4, and then they'll lose 5, and then they'll win 3, and they'll drop a pair. So the Pioneers really need to build that consistency, especially as the threat of this conference tournament looms, and they're looking to do that with a couple in-state games in the month of February.
5 in double figures, 12 3-pointers tonight for the #1 offense in the MAC. And a 4th straight win for the Sacred Heart Pioneers. Now 6-5 in MAC play, earning their 10th overall win and improving to 6-3 at home. The final score tonight from the Pitt Center, Sacred Heart 89, Riders 77. Tanner Thomas leads the way with 20 points for the Pioneers. It is a double-double for Thomas, who secured his 10th rebound. 15 from Anquan Hill on 5 of 10 shooting and a couple of rack-busting dunks. 13 from Amiri Stewart all over the place. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Makai Connor, 12 points on 7 assists for the point guard. And Griffin Baruch contributing 11 with 5 rebounds.
Yeah, I loved the way Griffin Baruch looked tonight. He was north of 20 in the plus-minus column, Andy.
McKenna Wright standing by with Anquan Hill.
Thanks, guys. Anquan, what a game for you tonight. You were showing off out there. How fun was this win for you tonight?
It was very fun. You know, it's always good when you come out here and play comfortable. It feels great getting 4 in a row, but right now we're focused on the next game, trying to close out the weekend.
You led the team in points last weekend. You're in the top 3 again tonight. What is your mindset right now heading into March?
just stay confident. That's when I'm playing my best, just being confident, being comfortable, and just having fun out there.
I gotta ask, you and Mackay Connor, after the whistle, you tried to get an alley-oop off. What did the ref tell you?
He was just saying don't do none of that, but you see, that's just us having fun and being comfortable.
Congratulations on the win, guys.
And his dunk was the backbreaker. That, for all intents and purposes, seemed to seal it. It was a highlight reel put-back slam from Anquan Hill, who's playing great basketball right now, coming off his career-high 24 points against Manhattan with 10 rebounds. 15 today for Hill with 6 rebounds and a couple for the highlight reel. McKenna Wright now standing by with the winning head coach, Anthony Latina.
Thanks, guys. Coach, I see you going over the stat sheet here. What are you seeing after this one? What are the numbers telling you?
Well, I think a big point of emphasis for us is taking care of the ball. We only had 7 turnovers. We're going to be very good offensively if we only turn over 7 times. And we did do a much better job of offensive rebounding. Those are 2 areas where we feel like if we do those 2 things, we're going to be real hard to beat. Now, we got to be a little bit better defensively. But if we take care of the ball on offensive rebound, we think we're going to make enough plays to put ourselves in a real good position.
How important are these early February wins heading into the playoffs?
First of all, every win's important because you got to make the playoffs. And that's not easy. And we were picked 13th in the league, so nobody expects us to even make the playoffs. We still have some work to do, but we're heading in the right direction. So real pleased with how we're coming together. Awesome job, guys. How we're coming together, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach. Guys.
Thank you, McKenna. That awesome job that Anthony Latina just shouted out is at the pep band. He appreciates the new environment here at the new Pitt Center. Coach Bike was in the house. Coach Dave Bike, who the court is named after, of course, had to like what he sees from his longtime assistant, now in his 12th year as the head coach at Sacred Heart, Anthony Latina. 89 points on the board today for Sacred Heart. It's a 4-game winning streak. They moved to 6-5 in MAC play. And now, as Anthony Latina said, it's all about being one of the top 10. But within that, you'd love to be in the top 6 and get a ticket to the quarterfinals on the boardwalk.
You're absolutely right, and it's hard to think that there are 5 teams that's better than the Sacred Heart team that we saw on the floor tonight. This is exactly what you want it to look like if you're Coach Latina. We got a 20-point double-double from Tanner Thomas, 7 assists from Mackay Connor, 11 points from Griffin Baruch, who was plus 20, never turned the ball over, was making steals happen on the other side of the court. And how about 12 of 29 from three-point land? That's right where you want to be. And then 19 of 24 from the free throw line. They did everything right tonight. It's hard to believe that this team is not one of the best 5.
So for McKenna Wright and Evan Cormier, I'm Randy Brochu saying so long from Fairfield, Connecticut, where the final score is Sacred Heart 89, Riders 77. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.